What if I told you, life isn't something you figure out, it's something you feel your way through, and the more you try to make it perfect, the more it slips through your fingers. But stay with me, just for the next 13 minutes, because I'm about to give you the clearest, simplest explanation of life you'll ever hear. And no, it's not motivational fluff. It's real, emotional, and weirdly, practical. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The illusion of control. We grow up believing we can control everything, our future, other people, even life itself. But that's an illusion. You don't control life. You respond to it. You didn't choose the weather. You didn't choose your childhood. And you certainly can't control how people think or feel about you. These are forces beyond your reach, like waves in the ocean. Trying to stop them is like shouting at the wind. But here's the secret. Your reaction to them? That's where your power lives. Most people spend their lives trying to control every outcome. They stress, manipulate, plan endlessly, trying to force life to match their expectations. But it never truly works. And it only leaves them tired and anxious. The wise ones do something different. They stop trying to steer the ocean and learn how to surf. You are not the director of life's movie. You're the actor on stage, improvising as you go. But strangely, that's where real freedom begins. Because when you stop needing to control everything, you begin to experience everything. You stop fighting the world and start flowing with it. You become flexible, open, aware. You begin to dance with life instead of dragging it where you think it should go. And from that space, peace begins. The moment you let go of the illusion of control is the moment life begins to feel lighter. You can finally breathe. You can finally live. Because real strength isn't in controlling life. It's in responding to it with grace. Chapter 2. When you try too hard, you lose. We all want something. Peace, love, success, happiness, and somewhere along the way, we were taught that if we just try harder, push more, grind longer, we'll get it. But here's the paradox. The more tightly you grip something, the more it slips away. Want peace? Stop chasing it like it's running from you. Want love? Stop begging for it like you're unworthy. Want success? Stop clenching it like it owes you something. Because life rewards effort, yes, but it punishes desperation. There's a quiet power in those who move with purpose, but not panic, who give their best, but aren't attached to the outcome. They're calm, grounded, magnetic. Ever notice how the most relaxed person in the room often attracts the most attention? It's because they're not trying to impress you. They're not desperate for validation. They don't need anything from you. And in that freedom, they draw everything toward them. It's not about giving up. It's about letting go. Try hard, but don't try too hard. Effort without obsession, desire without desperation. The most beautiful things in life, peace, love, success, they come when you're aligned, not when you're clinging. So loosen your grip, trust the process, put in the work, then breathe. Sometimes, the thing you want most shows up the moment you stop needing it, because real power doesn't beg, it attracts. Chapter 3. The Myth of Happiness. We've been sold a lie. That happiness is something to chase, something you arrive at, like a destination with a finish line. More money, better looks, higher status, and then finally, you'll be happy. But here's the truth. Happiness isn't a goal, it's a side effect, a companion on the road, not the road itself. You don't get happiness, you grow into it. It sneaks in when you're doing something that matters, when you're working on a dream, helping someone who needed it, or just living without even thinking about happiness at all. Because the secret is this: happiness hides in movement, in progress, in purpose. It's in the small steps no one sees, the quiet victories, the feeling of becoming better, not just having more. You don't have to smile your way into joy. You just have to keep building something real, keep growing, keep connecting, keep giving. That's when happiness knocks on your door, not because you demanded it, but because you invited it. It arrives when you're too busy living to even notice, when your focus shifts from what can I get to what can I give, and that's the irony. The moment you stop chasing happiness, it finds you. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect body, the perfect job. Start moving, start creating, start serving, and watch happiness follow you, like a shadow you forgot was there. Because happiness isn't a destination. It's what happens on the journey, when you're fully alive in the moment. Chapter 4. The story. You tell yourself. Your life isn't just a timeline of events. It's a narrative, a story your mind keeps telling you, over and over again. And here's the twist. It's not about what happened. It's about how you interpret what happened. Two people can live through the same moment. One walks away broken, the other walks away wiser. Why? Because their stories were different. Every memory you carry isn't fixed. It's flexible. Every time you revisit it, your brain edits it, adding meaning, emotion, and sometimes fear. But that's not a weakness. That's your power. You're already the storyteller. So, why not be a conscious one? Instead of playing the victim, make yourself the hero. Instead of hiding your scars, use them as proof you survived. Instead of saying, "This ruined me," say, "This built me." Turn pain into plot. Turn confusion into clarity. Turn rock bottom into the foundation of something new. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing the version of the truth that makes you stronger. Because your story is always being written, whether you notice it or not. The words pile up. The narrative takes shape. And one day, you'll look back at this chapter. Will it read like a tragedy? Or will it be the turning point? You decide. You have the pen. You always did. So, write bravely. Edit wisely. Tell it like a warrior who lived to tell the tale. Your story matters. So, tell the version where you rise. Chapter 5. Why feelings make the final call. We love to think we're logical, that we weigh pros and cons, make rational choices, stay calm under pressure. But the truth, most of what we do, what we say, buy, chase, or avoid, is driven by emotion, not logic. Emotions are fast, powerful, and deeply rooted in survival. They hit first. Logic shows up later, usually to justify the feeling. Ever walked into a room and just felt something was off? That wasn't magic. That was your body picking up cues your conscious mind missed. Micro expressions, tone shifts, energy. That gut feeling? It's your internal radar, faster than thought. Often, smarter too. The mistake isn't feeling emotions. It's ignoring them. Or worse, letting them take the wheel. You don't want to be emotionless. You want to be emotionally aware. You want to listen to your feelings. But let your values decide what you do next. Anger isn't the problem. Reacting blindly is. Fear isn't weakness. Letting it paralyze you is. Emotions are messengers. They're trying to tell you something. So, pause. Listen. Translate. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to protect? What wound is it pointing to? What truth is it revealing? The people who live well, they're not cold. They're just fluent in their own emotions. They don't silence their gut. They learn its language. Because at the end of the day, emotion may shout first, but wisdom gets the final word. Chapter 6. The Habit Machine. You are not your big dreams, not your vision board, not even your list of goals. You are your habits, the small things you do, over and over and over again. Want to see your future? Don't look at your goals. Look at your days. What do you do daily? Not what you wish you'd do. What you actually do. Here's the scary truth. About 40% of what you do each day, you're not even thinking about it. You're just running code. Because your brain hates wasting energy. So, it builds shortcuts, tiny programs called habits. Brush your teeth, check your phone, complain, snack. You don't even notice anymore. It just happens. That's the machine, always running. But here's the twist. You can't delete a habit. You can only replace it. Trying to quit scrolling? Don't just stop. Swap it. Same cue, boredom. Same reward, relief. New routine, take a walk, breathe, journal. Stress used to mean sugar. Now, it means a 10-minute walk, same reward. But now the outcome changes your life. Habits are hard to build. But once they're built, they carry you. Discipline is heavy. Habits, they're autopilot. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your systems. So, build better systems. The strongest people, they're not the most motivated, they're just the most automated. That's the real secret. You don't have to fight yourself every day. You just have to design yourself, one habit at a time, because the machine never stops. So, take control of the code. Chapter 7. The 80-20 Rule of Life. Not all effort is created equal. You could spend 10 long hours working, and only 2 of those hours will actually move the needle. Why? Because 20% of your actions create 80% of your results. Always. That's the 80-20 rule. It's not just math, it's life. 20% of your relationships bring you 80% of your joy. 20% of your habits shape 80% of your growth. 20% of your thoughts cause 80% of your stress. So, here's the real challenge. Can you spot the 20%? What truly matters? Who truly matters? What actually works? If you want more time, don't try to do everything. Do less, but better. Identify the signal. Cut the noise. Stop chasing perfection in every corner. Focus on the few things that actually move your life forward. Maybe it's that one deep friendship, that one health habit, that one idea you keep ignoring. Double down on what works. Ignore what doesn't. The world will always offer distractions. More apps, more people, more advice. But more isn't the answer. You need clarity. You need focus. Because energy is limited. Time is non-refundable. And you can't afford to waste either. The people who win at life, they don't do more. They master what matters most. So, today, look at your calendar. Look at your habits. Look at your goals. And ask yourself, what's the 20% that deserves 100% of me? Chapter 8. The Truth About Meaning. We all want to be happy, but life isn't about chasing constant joy. It's about finding meaning. And here's the truth. Meaning rarely feels easy. It doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes from responsibility. From showing up when it's hard, from doing the work when no one's watching, from carrying the weight because someone has to. Think of the happiest people you know. They're not smiling because life is effortless. They're fulfilled because they matter, because they're needed, because they've made themselves useful to something bigger than themselves. Meaning grows. Where pain used to live, when you choose to turn struggle into strength and wounds into wisdom. It's not about removing the hard things. It's about facing them and becoming someone stronger through the process. Responsibility gives you roots, service gives you direction, and contribution gives you peace. You want to feel alive? Take on a mission. Be there for someone. Lift what's heavy, not just for yourself, but for others. Because here's the paradox. The more you give, the more you grow. And the more you serve, the more you matter. So stop chasing happiness like it's a finish line. Instead, build meaning like it's your foundation. Because happiness fades, but meaning, it lasts. And in the end, that's what makes life truly worth living.